Atma nagvam rathinam viddhi shariram rathamevatu buddhim tu sarathim viddhi manah pragrahavan nara indriyani hayanyahur vishayans teshu gocharan atmendriya manoyuktam bhoktetyahur manishana. The Kathopanishad is stating that there is a chariot. It's referring to your body as the chariot. This chariot has got horses, 5 horses. There are reins in the mouths of the horses, from the mouths. The reins are in the hands of the charioteer, the driver, standing there. And there is a passenger sitting behind. Now, ideally, the passenger should instruct the charioteer, come on, this is my desired destination. And the whole contraption will go in the desired direction. But here what is happening is that the passenger has gone to sleep. So these horses have taken over. The horses say, we wish to go there, we wish to go there. They tug at the reins and the charioteer, for lack of guidance, just directs the chariot in the direction where the horses tug. Now the chariot is the body. The 5 horses are the 5 senses within us. The reins from the mouths of these horses, this is the mind that has the ability to control these horses, the senses. The reins are in the hands of the intellect, the charioteer. And the passenger seated behind is the seat of consciousness, the soul itself, that is energizing the whole system, because of which there is life. You know, Albert Georgi, Nobel Prize winner, he said, in my search for life, I ended up with electrons and protons. Somewhere down the line, consciousness slipped out of my hands. In my old age, I am tracing my steps backward. What is the basis of consciousness? All the scientific community is puzzled by this riddle. Is consciousness created merely from combinations of electrons and protons and neutrons? It doesn't seem a sufficient answer. So the Vedas are saying there is the source of consciousness, which is the soul, the real you, seated inside. That is energizing this whole system. When that leaves, the system is insentient. When it is present, there is sentience everywhere. You prick a thorn into the finger, what happened? It's paining. There is life. There is sentience. Similarly, the mind, intellect have all been energized by the presence of that seat of consciousness, the soul. Now the problem is the soul is sleeping. If you can use that soul power, if you can wake up to your inner potentialities, and first of all bring this intellect under control, through sublime knowledge, through divine truths, illumine this intellect. And then utilize that illumined intellect. Guide the intellect. Don't let the intellect roam without guidance. And then use that intellect to control the mind, as we had discussed, by repeatedly contemplating the place for happiness which you cherish. And then utilize the mind to rein in the 5 horses, the senses. In this manner, the Vedas say, use this machinery that has been granted to you to cross over this vast material ocean and reach your final goal, final destination, which is God, which is the Supreme Lord Himself. Thank you all so much.
So I have a couple of questions. So one question is, so I understand everything you said. Why do you think we come from God into this world? I mean, what's the purpose? There must be a purpose, otherwise it all seems quite pointless. That's one question. Because if the point is you come from there and then you like travel and you go back, and the way to be happy is to get back, so why did you leave to begin with? And the second point is, I think quite a large number of people, maybe at MIT in particular, they have quite a very developed intellect in a particular area, let's say, math or physics or biology, whatever they're working on. And the intellect is very developed and controlled in that area, but that frequently does not correspond to the intellect also being developed in other areas, which on a human level might be even more important. So how does that happen? And that leads to the kind of a small follow-up question of, is there such a thing as a mission or a path, or when a person is born and they feel in themselves that this is what I should do, and what's the view?
What's the point of it all? That's a question that is, all pervading. Everybody asks that. 15 days ago, I was in Stanford speaking on science and spirituality. The same very question was almost the first to come up. It's natural when you see all this maze around, you wonder, why are you here? Well, a very beautiful story that I heard of, which kind of appeals to me to answer this question. There was a billionaire. This billionaire had a 15-year-old son. One day, the father was out of the office and the son was scavenging the office when he came across a newspaper, which was 15-year-old edition. And there was an article there, billionaire adopts orphan child. That boy was shocked. Does this refer to me? There's my father's name and the age, date matches. When his father returned, he asked him, "Father, is this article correct?" The father said, "Yes, it is." He was downfallen. The son said, "Father, I am not your child." "No, my son, I adopted you." "Why did you do that?" So the father said, "Son, I am a billionaire. I have got everything that money can buy. But I did not have anyone to share this with. I have adopted you so that I may be able to give you everything that I have." So similarly, our source, that Supreme Lord, like I said, is an ocean of infinite bliss. He is perfect and complete in Himself. However, out of His creativity, He creates His tiny little parts so that He can share with us everything He has. His divine knowledge, His divine bliss, His divine love. However, He wants us to work our way towards that creation. And the Vedic perspective is not of one lifetime. It says it's a journey that did not begin upon birth. It's continuing from lifetimes. You are slowly, over multiple lifetimes, attaining that perfection. And if at present the experience of misery is greater than that of bliss, you may feel discouraged and say, "Oh, it's so useless." But if you could know the whole design and what you would get at the end of it, you'd say, "Oh, so wonderful, so amazing. One day I will have that infinite love, bliss of God."